Last time, police lab man Barry Allen got a massive dose of electricity plus a cocktail of chemicals, and now he can move at unbelievable speed. Dr. Tina McGee of STAR Labs is helping him figure out what's happened to him, how to control it, and eventually how to get rid of it. They're doing all this on the down low because neither of them wants the government to snatch Barry up, stick him in a cage, and feed him guinea pig food. Meanwhile, Barry's brother Jay is the head of a new motorcycle police task force. A biker gang calling themselves the Dark Riders has been terrorizing Central City. They're led by one Nicholas Pike. Pike is several things. He's an ex-cop who wrote the manual for motorcycle officers. He's a disgraced cop who got drummed off the force for reasons we don't know yet. And he's head over the heels crazy. Not just crazy, homicidally crazy. His latest target is the cop who got him kicked off the force, Jay Allen.
You really think this is gonna work?
Well, if we're going to control your power, it's the first step.
You're the doctor. So, what am I wearing here?
That's a Soviet prototype deep-sea suit. The project was abandoned months ago, so I borrowed it.
She says it has a reactive layer of insulation next to his skin. It can withstand high speed and it will regulate his body temperature.
Well, listen, my skin isn't affected by speed. Do I really need to wear this thing?
Well, as your clothes keep falling apart, it's either this or you can run buck naked.
Oh, thank you.
And you can only get away with that so many times. No, that's not how I know that. A receiver in his ear and a couple of telemetry thingies on him, and he's ready to go.
Barry, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's my velocity?
Holding at 480. Can you go any faster? 530, 570, 620. Be careful, Barry, you're about to cause a sonic boom.
Be careful yourself. If he sets off a sonic boom on the ground, it could knock her off her feet.
Barry? Barry, please answer me.
Sorry, my ears were ringing. I think I'm starting to like this.
I guess he was on the other side of the trailer when he boomed, so she was protected. It couldn't be that our writers don't know what happens when a sonic shock sends a massive wall of air barreling at you.
How does it feel?
See for yourself.
Barry, what are you doing?
He suddenly realized she was about to be buck naked. He's way too much of a gentleman to do that. Plus, she'd probably quit helping him.
Oh, how did the suit hold up?
Well, great. You know, for the first time, I felt like I was really in control, like everything was working together.
Well, don't get too confident. We've got a lot more testing to do. Barry? Barry? What's wrong? Okay, put your head between your legs and breathe deeply. I'm gonna go get some oxygen.
No, wait. I'm okay. What was that?
It was probably more of his body adapting to its new cell structure. After all that running, his pulse is normal. Everything is normal, except his life. He gets the feeling that'll never be normal again.
Excellent. Tina, this is Julio.
Hello.
My pleasure.
I asked Barry to show me the lab. I thought it might be interesting. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, no, have a look around. Just try and stay away from the windows. We've had a lot of trouble in that area lately.
Okay.
Just then, a DNA match comes in on that hair sample Julio found.
This is a department ID photo. Motorcycle cop. Oh, I told these guys
Wait a
not to
minute.
handle...
Pike was thrown off the force 3 years ago.
Did you know him?
He was my brother's partner. Pike had a hijacking operation on the side. Guns, narcotics, explosives. Jay got onto him. He set up a decoy out on Highway 61, a semi full of phony cargo. When Pike showed, Jay chased him down. Pike's cycle crashed and burned. A couple weeks later, he escaped from prison hospital.
He says, I have to warn Jay. Julio says, you can't. They're on radio silence. They got word about the writer's next target, and they're providing escort on Highway 61, the same place Jay busted Pike. Gee, you don't suppose... Nah, couldn't be.
Look, please don't try anything. You don't know what could happen.
He's my brother.
Even more important, he's Dad's favorite. If he gets killed and Dad finds out I didn't even try to help, you don't know what Christmas is going to be like. Oldest trick in the book. Something blocking the road. Innocent young damsel in distress. Lila convinces him and he calls for a couple of cops to push the car off the road.
Get away from the car!
And by the way, that truck they're protecting, it's not carrying medical supplies. I hate to say it, but unless Barry gets there, Jay hasn't got a chance.
Remember me?
If it was me, I'd call him Mr. McTavish or something just to irritate him. What do I have to lose? He knows which head goes in that, but where is it?
Jay! Jay!
Jay!
Too bad Jay didn't get the chance to learn what his brother can do. We can bet Pike will, though. Jay was played by Tim Thomerson. He's been a successful character actor since the 70s, but he started out as a stand-up comedian. I remember seeing one of his routines on a TV show somewhere along the line. I didn't find him especially funny, so maybe that's how he moved into acting.
Mom told me you'd be out here. I made a decision, Dad. I'm going after Pike myself.
Don't be a damn fool.
I'm on to something. If I play my cards right, I can track him down.
A man's got to know his limitations.
You don't have any faith in me at all, do you?
That's not it, Barry. If there's anything I try to teach you two boys, is that you don't fire a gun without a bullet in the chamber.
I have the bullet.
For that matter, when he really gets going, he is a bullet.
Barry, what are you
We're
doing?
through with this crap. No more testing. No more games.
I know what you're going through.
Do you?
Yes, maybe I do.
I'm sorry.
You were joined to your brother by the accident of birth. She was joined to her husband by choice. Maybe she understands grief better than you do.
The red suit. I need more of it.
Why?
I want you to build a hood to cover my face so no one will know who I am. And gloves so I won't leave fingerprints. Can you do that?
Well, yes, I suppose so, but
Pike murdered Jay. I'm gonna bring him in.
Well, that's crazy. You're barely able to control your...
Power? That's what you called it.
Yes, and a very unstable one. You came here asking to get rid of it.
I've changed my mind.
That has to be one of the most perfect deliveries I have ever seen, and I intend to get a lot of mileage out of that clip. She'll do it, if she can build monitors into it so she's able to track his health. It's a deal.
Okay, now there's one more thing. Pike has been terrorizing the city. Well, I'm going to terrorize him. You know that insignia of his, that blood dot they all wear on their backs? Well, I've got one of my own.
Later, the writers have been at a chemical plant. They're towing a couple of trailers with various colored liquids in bottles. Nobody will ever explain what that stuff is, if they stole it from the chemical place or if they brought it with them. The bottles look like regular household cleaners and such, so this makes very little sense. And he's thinking that makes even less sense. Barry is just getting started.
That's gonna leave a mark.
There's a story that hospital workers call those bikes donor cycles. That story is true. My wife verified it. That right there is why they call them that. Gentlemen, I get the feeling you don't fully understand the phrase, run it down. See, that involves actually going toward the object in question with a view to striking it with your vehicle. Two of you zipping by on either side of it does not accomplish this goal. It also leaves open the possibility that the object in question may do that. He takes down the other one pulling a cart, and now there's just one left. It's not hard to figure out from the contours of those leathers that it's Lila. He has her cornered.
I want Pike. Where is he? Tell me!
She won't get away. The police are there and have her surrounded. Barry has other things on his mind, and so does Tina. She can see what happened on her monitors, but she can't seem to find him. While she's looking, he steals some clothes, bumps into a couple of friends in a squad car, and they drive him home. A story about Earl and a really cute poodle is enough cover to keep them from asking too many questions. It's a good thing they don't know that much about dogs, because when the female is in heat, Earl doesn't care if she's a poodle or a Great Pyrenees. He'll figure it out. The first dog we got when we got married back in 1980 was a Lab Basset Hound mix. I've spent decades trying to figure out how that was done.
We bagged a couple of those riders tonight, and get this, they said a ghost tore them right off their bikes.
If you ask me, they're all on crack.
That's the story they're going with, eh? On the other hand, what else do they have to compare all that to? At Barry's place, Tina wants to know about the leg.
How bad is it?
Well, the pain and stiffness are almost gone.
Well, that doesn't seem possible. I'd like to check it out.
Okay, come on up.
She's not sure how that's possible. I say it makes perfect sense because remember his super sped up metabolism. That's likely to include healing. She wants to take a look at the wound anyway.
Barry. Sorry, I guess I should have let myself in. Here's your keys anyway.
It's not what you think.
Oh?
This is Tina McGee.
Hi.
She's a doctor, a scientist, and she's...
A genetic fingerprint specialist. I'm helping Barry track down the Pike gang.
Tina will leave and Barry will smooth things over with Iris. He really does care about her, and they finally agree that they can just keep things the way they are. Barry has lost interest in marriage. Iris is delighted, and then we see that we're dealing with a new generation of superhero, the kind that, isn't an incel, or a cell of any kind.
I can't believe it was over so quickly.
Disappointed?
Well, yeah. After all that anticipation, why bother?
There are certain downsides to having a super speed metabolism.
$20 for a fight that's over in 2 rounds.
You thought they were talking about something else. Yeah, so did I. Next morning, he's gathering materials to bandage his leg, but there's almost nothing to bandage. The wound is nearly healed, so never mind. At the station, he cajoles his way into having a talk with Lila.
Lila, right?
Yes, so.
Pretty frightening how you and your friends were caught last night. What was it again? A demon? The guys around the station think you're all on drugs, or crazy. But I know better. I know you really did see a demon. He was as red as blood, wasn't he? And fast, like a flash.
And just like that, the ghost has a name. For the first time since she was busted, Lila is listening.
So if you care about Pike, you'll tell us where he is. Because, Lila, if we don't find him, the Flash will.
She's properly intimidated, not to say scared down to her toes, but she still can't bring herself to say anything. She's more afraid of Pike than she is of the Flash.
Take off her clothes. Send him to the crime lab.
I don't know what she thought he was going to do with that policewoman standing right there, but that wasn't it. Still, I think he's put a nice bundle of fear into her head. Between the Flash and what this guy might find on her clothes, she can see her comfy little existence falling apart. Meanwhile, Pike is taking the whole thing philosophically.
Suspects were arrested.
None of us is free while Lila rots in their prison. Tonight, we open the gates of hell.
And after that, we'll go buy another TV because I shot the one we have. Yeah!
Barry, I got the top of that you wanted.
Great. Talk to me.
All right. The area is marked in yellow. Match the soil samples we found at the crime scenes.
Thanks, Julio.
That thing he's looking at under the microscope is from a certain plant. Match the yellow areas to where that plant grows and you've narrowed the search considerably. Lucky for him, Pike gives those folks everything they need except laundry facilities.
You got it. What? Pike's hideout. There's only one area in the county where that plant appears with that soil.
Sure. Yeah, Devil's Gate Dam. That reservoir's been closed for years. We gotta tell the chief.
You tell the chief. Barry's off to have a talk with Pike.
Hey, what are you doing, Tyrone?
Turning it down, you idiot. You want the whole damn world to know where we are?
Hey, what does it matter? I mean, after tonight, with every psycho punk running loose, we can do whatever we want, right?
Yeah, well, until then, keep it down, because you're blowing my head off.
Keep it down, you're blowing my head off.
I told you, Scott!
Hey, I didn't do anything, man.
Don't mess with me, man, all right?
All right.
This is how it goes when people turn to anger, hate, and violence. Sooner or later, there's nobody else to be angry at but each other. It doesn't take much to nudge that into violence against each other.
Fine.
It was real funny, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I think that's...
He's right, that is pretty funny, especially from this angle.
I realize how an unhappy childhood probably led you to all this, but that's really no excuse.
Lots of people had unhappy childhoods. Most of them didn't turn to this. The next room has a corkboard with Pike's plan for breaking Lila out of jail. And there's something else. That belonged to his brother. Jay kept it on him whenever he went to work as a good luck charm. Barry should leave it there because it doesn't work. Let Pike keep it and maybe it'll be equally unlucky for him.
Chief, I've located Pike's home base.
What? Where?
Devil's Gate Dam.
You sure about that?
I've been there myself.
You've been?
Yes, sir.
Well, then we'll hit him with everything we've
They're not
got.
at the dam right now, sir.
Alan, you're confusing the hell out of me.
Maybe if you shut up and let him give you a complete explanation, you won't be so confused, Chief.
And what do you mean going out in the field all alone? You're not authorized to do that.
Pike and his men are headed for the county jail. From what I can tell, they mean to break out their friends and anyone else who wants to come along.
That's a pretty wild story, Alan. You know, you've been under a lot of stress lately.
Sir, I know I'm just another fingerprint duster here. But if you don't trust me, trust this.
Let's talk about bigotry in the police department. The chief is just like Barry's dad. He doesn't think you're a real cop unless you're on the street dodging bullets. Crime lab guys are just a touch wussy. Never mind that it's the lab guys who do things like track down Pike's hideout. As he said, he's just another fingerprint duster to the chief, not a genuine part of the police. When the chief offered him a cup of coffee, he slipped some LSD into it to keep Barry busy and out of the way. He manages to call Tina just before he loses consciousness. The cops are mobilizing in force and they're headed for the jail. How big is this jail and how big a criminal element does this city have? I don't see this going well for the police. I doubt they have any idea what they're going to be up against.
Pike! I knew you'd come.
You all right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Now they have to get out of here. The police have a cordon around the whole building.
Pike, this is Chief Cooper. I'm giving you 60 seconds to come out of there.
Or we'll fill that building with so much tear gas you'll be crying for the rest of your life.
How does he think he's dealing with some punk robbing his first liquor store?
No, he's dealing with some punk who's pulling a jailbreak. Same punk, different crime. Having a big gun doesn't stop you from being a petty little punk.
What the hell do they have up there, an army?
In a very real sense, yes, they do. They have the personnel, they have the weapons, and they have the leadership. I told him he had no idea what he was getting into. They never listen. And I do not understand the logic of trying to shoot up into the building. They can't even see these guys, so I'm not sure what they expect to hit. If they're going to shoot, they should do what the chief said and start shooting tear gas. But they can't get close enough to be in range for that.
What happened to me?
A recurrence of the metabolic failure you suffered at the testing ground.
I've got to get to the jail to stop Pike. Is this going to happen again?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You're the expert here. I thought my system was adjusting.
Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it takes time. Look, you're one of a kind, Barry, and I'm only human.
And she doesn't even have any little extras like you do. All she has is her brain and her ability to examine things, which, I might add, you keep fighting her about.
But I can't let you go after Pike. Not now. You could be killed, and I cannot let that happen again.
Don't you think I know why you follow me around in this truck? Why you hook me up to these monitors? I'm not your husband, Tina. It's not happening again.
She betrayed herself when she said again. I get where she's coming from, but he says 5 squads of cops are facing total annihilation without me. One of the nice things about having super speed is you can be 5 blocks away before she has a chance to protest. She's not about to be put off like that. Her truck may not be as fast as he is, but it'll get her there.
Oh, come on! Damn it!
Or not. Barry took care of that, too.
We can't get close enough to launch tear gas. I advise that we fall back out of range.
Fall back. Captain Pike gets past us with 100 men behind him. He'll burn the city to the ground.
Oh, yes, sir, but the kind of firepower they've got in there, I don't know how much longer we can last.
Suddenly, the tear gas shells are gone. They're headed inside with that breeze.
Sorry, boys. Shooting gallery's closed.
That is straight out of the comics, and I love it. The effects are top-notch. You can easily believe what's going on there. This pilot took 3 weeks to film and get ready, in some measure because of the effects. The director and producers wanted to take their time and get everything just right. As we're seeing, meticulous care can often lead to a high-quality product. Next, he goes around and drops the tear gas canisters into all the air vents.
Mount up!
That smell!
Tear gas is well named. During my short time in the Army, they taught us how to use a gas mask. To demonstrate how effective the mask was, we had to walk into a room where they were burning tear gas, take off the mask, and recite our name, rank, and serial number. It's not an experience I care to repeat. Pike knows what it's like, too. I've seen so many women like her, beaten down by life, convinced she's not worth anything. A guy like Pike shows interest in her, and she convinces herself that he loves her, will take care of her. Finally, she matters to someone. And she does, as long as she's useful. And to Pike, she's only useful for one thing. Forgive me for putting it this way, but to him, she's just a hole with arms. When it's time to do this, she's in the way. The police have noticed the tear gas and are preparing to move in. Pike hasn't just abandoned Lila, he's abandoned everybody. He's taking his own route out of here. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess the other members of the gang don't know about this exit. That there is what you call honor among thieves. That there is what you call a wipeout.
What are you? And where did you come from?
I came from you, Pike. You made me when you killed my brother.
I killed a lot of men's brothers.
His name
I think we all knew this was going to happen. If nothing else, it kept him from spilling his identity to this bozo so Pike can broadcast it everywhere at his trial.
His name is...
Even when you're as chiseled as Barry Allen is, that's going to hurt. Pike is beating the stuffing out of him. He's not the type just to kill the Flash and get it over with. He likes to punish and torture people. Like too many people today, the cruelty is the point. Though why he doesn't go ahead and finish him off, I don't know. Pike also likes to humiliate people, so maybe that was sufficient for him. But his bike has had it. He'll have to walk from here. There's a ladder nearby that leads to a manhole up on a quiet part of the street.
Pike! Remember me?
Oh, by the way, those dizzy spells don't last that long. And with the cushioned suit, a fall like that doesn't do much of anything. Pike still doesn't grasp what this guy can do. And now it's time for one of the Flash's signature moves. The comics always made me chuckle when he did this. Remember how he electrified that thing with his RPG? His body is still counting each individual volt. He's not dead, but he probably wishes he was. Wrap him up with some cable, disappear before the police get there, and mission accomplished.
Thank you. That was a dirty trick, stealing my distributor cap. I'm trying to help you.
I got Pike. We sail, it's over. I'm sorry I didn't let you follow me. I was afraid you'd get hurt.
I can take care of myself, Barry. I've been doing it a long time.
I can care about you too, you know.
She has to realize that his head has been a mess since the accident. His whole life has been altered and he's still figuring it out. But as he makes progress figuring it out, his eyes are slowly turning outward again and he's recognizing what she's done for him and is continuing to do for him. He's starting to understand that she is the most unique friend he will ever have.
I was watching the monitor. You had another slowdown, didn't you? Another seizure.
Yeah, we gotta find a way to eliminate that. Because if I'm gonna use my speed to its full advantage.
I was afraid of this.
Why should it end now?
What about side effects, complications, things we don't know about?
You'll figure it out. I have faith in you.
And if I refuse, you'll do it anyway, right?
If he's able to say no to those eyes, he's a tougher man than I am.
Well, the truth is I have faith in you too.
People all over town are talking about the Flash now. Is he real? Was he a figment of somebody's tear-gassed imagination? This city has been needing a new gossip subject for a while now. We end with a tender scene between Barry and Jay's little boy Sean that's too long for me to show, and the stage is set for the series. We know who the Flash is, how he got to be what he is, how he came to be fighting crime, and who his backup is. The story is well told and with a minimum of padding. Michael Nader as Pike was terrifying. The casting is perfect, the effects are good, and the story was compelling. And even though it didn't catch on, we're in for a really good show here. Why did it fail? Let's not talk about such depressing subjects right now. Let's enjoy what we just saw and look forward to more.
Hey friends, I hope you're enjoying my look at The Flash. If you like it, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. If you really like it, consider becoming a patron. $2 a month gets you extra content like Hogan's Heroes and It's About Time. $5 a month gets you that and more, so take a look. The link is down there in the description. I also do lots of other stuff, so take a moment to look it over. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
He's a disgraced gop plus a cop. She says colored liquids in baller. Yeah, good grief. David, the first dog we got when we got feeling his identity. No, Hazel, I'm not going to feed you right now.